Yeah,
We are good to go.
yeah, we live. New vibes.
Yes,
You can hear me,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Welcome, everybody.
Word up. New vibes, new outlook. Know what I mean? New platforms. The same vibes. You already know. Producer on the other screen, the one and only Aunt Acid. What up, baby?
What's going on, baby? How you feeling? How about
Chilling,
yourself?
God.
And to the right of me, I got my man, the one and only Jonesy,
Dos
two
Veces.
times.
Jonesy 2 times. What up, dog?
You got to say
What
that
up,
shit twice,
baby?
baby.
Oh, you're not saying it right.
Yes, sir.
Minus, that's right. But yeah, baby, we here, man. We here. Appreciate everybody that's fucking with us, that has ever fucked with us. You know what I'm saying? We trying new shit. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get what up with the times, but we still talking that New York shit. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, before we get into any New York sports, man, we gotta talk about these finals.
Yes, sir.
We gotta talk about these finals. Pacers shocked the world, game one, dog. They
Yeah,
do
I
it
mean,
again, bro.
Hallie did what Hallie does apparently,
Yeah, I
and
mean they've
it's been a
literally
thing. This
done
whole
this.
keep going,
Yeah,
keep going.
they've literally done this at least one game in every series this playoffs
Mm-hmm.
to between Milwaukee, Cleveland, the Knicks, and now game one against the Thunder.
Yeah,
You know
you
what?
know,
And game one is essential. So and I think they've won every single game one.
yeah.
You know?
It's locking down that game one is probably the like, and I mean we've seen it through history and basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You
And how
know,
important
like
it is.
how important it is that number is so big. And I mean, you really, really, really got to make sure that you're providing greatness to overcome that. You know what I mean? Like, like only a couple of players, only a couple of teams, like, and I'm not saying like it's like a huge thing, but like you're talking about over 50%, like so
Yeah, no,
like
yeah. It's
eh,
about into the 60s, almost 70% if you win game one. You know what I
yeah.
mean? In terms of the outcome of the series. Especially when it comes on the road also, which they did, 2 times as well. So
Hmm.
it's like now three, I think. And I mean, as much as obviously I hate the Pacers. You know what I'm saying? And I, I still feel like OKC could win this series, but I don't think it's as guaranteed as everybody once thought. You know what I mean? I mean,
Hmm.
for we're talking about a historic team in terms of numbers and what OKC. I mean, they won 68 games.
Yeah.
That's four off of the 72. Only four. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they only lost 14 games in the whole season. So like they're a team that has like never really been seen before. But we've seen that before also with the Warriors when they were 7-3-3-9, and like the season doesn't even matter because they didn't even win the chip. You know,
Hmm.
it's like if you don't win the chip, it's like it's not really complete. You didn't really complete the mission.
Yeah.
So OKC now they have now they got a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah.
You know.
That buzzer beater was huge.
Was Yeah, I mean, hung around and another similar situation. They're down 15 plus points. Fourth quarter, time is running down, and you think you got it in the bag. Then you start doing stupid play after stupid play, and then they start hitting shot after shot. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Nemhard with the crazy cross. You know what I'm saying? Mixed them at the top of the key. Went to the little elbow, banged the three. Like they I mean, you would have thought that maybe they would have known from seeing Indiana this entire playoff, but I guess not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
one thing about the Pacers, they play 48 minutes, bro.
They play the whole
They
fucking
play the
game.
full 48 minutes until the buzzer is over and there's a winner and a loser. They play, and
Hmm.
nothing. They don't ever feel. They don't have a quit. They don't have a feel as like they're out of it or they can't or like a lead is too insurmountable. You know what I'm saying? They don't pack it up. You
And
know?
can we go back to that real quick?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can uh go back to that real quick. Um
What the Nemhard?
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's the end of the game. You know what I'm saying? Good defensive stop by Indiana. That's all they needed to do. You know, they come down. No timeout neither. They played on the fly, which is big.
Yep.
And then, you know,
Immediately took it.
bang, immediate. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like they've been prepared for this. Like I'm saying, like Carlisle didn't have to stop and call timeout, and OKC has time to like make a substitution or adjust to the moment. Pep talk to players. No fouls type shit or whatever. You know, like
Yeah.
in the zone, in the move, and this is what Indiana's been, quite frankly, since the All-Star break. Since
Facts.
the All-Star break, their record, playoffs included, is top 3, top 5 in the league. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Even though they didn't finish at that in the standings when you look at it in the end. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's different. It's different, you know? And then I don't know if OKC don't got it in the bag just yet, bro. They don't got it they might be the better team on paper, but hopefully for OKC's sake, they adjust in a better way than the Knicks did. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
they gotta come back hard. Like they have to
Yeah.
like have a
Hmm.
firm foot on their throat, like 20 something
Yeah.
point fucking win. You know what I mean? Like it
Hmm. Like,
can't be any weak shit.
yeah, because when we lost game one, I think that affected our play game two, and why we lost game two. Like game two was a lot more one-sided in terms of what Indiana did than game one was, where it was really us that was dominating almost for 40 something minutes of the game. And then the
Yeah.
last 3 to 5 minutes, it was all Indiana, including the overtime, you know?
T sends her love, by the way.
Oh, word. Love you, baby girl.
My guy.
So, uh, yeah, man. So it's like, they've already shown who they are. And OKC, they can't play games with these people in
Yeah.
terms of Indiana. They're a good team. They got shooters. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Between Naismith and Nemhard and Halliburton and even Miles Turner, like all of these players, Siakam, they all got threes. They all got shoot. They could all shoot. You know,
Yeah.
McConnell, the other cat on the off the bench. You know, so OKC got their work cut out for them, and we're gonna see. We're gonna have to, and SGA, he had a good game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He scored. I think he had 30. But it looks like to me somebody else on OKC is gonna have to step up as well. It can't
Absolutely.
just be SGA trying to carry them, because Indiana, they play unselfish basketball. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It really, to them, it doesn't matter who gets to shine that particular game. We've
Hmm.
seen that also in that series between Siakam one game, Naismith another game, Halliburton another game. Where each one of them had uh, real good games, and the rest of the team just followed along. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's your
Yeah,
night. Go ahead, man.
they're stacked differently.
Unselfish.
They're
Yeah.
completely stacked differently. Like across the board. Like you gotta see like it really is like, all right, let me pull this up real quick. But it's basically just a box score comparing the two teams. Across the board, it just seems as if like it's like there's a big differential between them. You know,
Mm.
but yeah, let me see if I can.
Let's see.
All right, are we seeing this right now?
Not yet. I don't see nothing.
Let's try that again. Okay. Can you see?
No. Oh, I see it now. Zoom
All
in.
right.
Can we zoom in? Let's see if I do this like that. Oh yeah, now I see.
All right. Yeah, you could basically see there is at least, I don't know, we're talking about, if we're talking about double digits,
Mm.
way more players on the Pacers that are in a double digit category compared to OKC. Also,
Yeah.
like point breakdown, like you said, Shea had 38. So he had
Mm.
38, and the only player that even got close with them to him was J Dub, and J Dub got
You know,
17
yeah,
points,
less than half. Less
less
than
than
half. And then
half.
when you see Indiana,
And then who's
Pascal
your third?
19.
Who's your third? The
Yeah.
biggest scorer is Lou Dort. It's not supposed to be Lou Dort.
Yeah, Caruso with
It's
11. It's supposed to be Chet. It's
supposed to
supposed
be
to be
Chet.
Chet.
It's
Chet can't be
supposed to
6
be.
and 6.
Uh
2 for
huh.
9. You know what I'm saying? 0 for 1, 24
Yep.
minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He probably had foul trouble or whatever. Now you can't do that.
I
You
heart
can't
nine
do it.
and
I
nine.
heart neither.
That's that. I mean, and that makes more
That's
sense.
that's his game.
I would say I heart 9 and 15 is what you would expected from him from
Yeah, but
game
he
one,
only played
not
7.
9 and 9.
But he also only played 17 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna have to look around and see what their rotation is in terms of matching up with them. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Because we know what Indiana is. You know, they're a running gun. They play a lot of guards. You know what I'm saying? So maybe OKC tries a lineup where it's Chet with the 4 guards. You know what I'm with SGA and Dort and maybe Caruso and Isaiah Joe maybe or uh, uh, Aaron Wiggins or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when you look at it like that, it shows your guards are going to be able to are faster to get back on defense, to be able to run back on defense and whatnot. You're not going to get embarrassed how like the Knicks did and they score faster and they can run back on defense. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yeah.
Like you can't let that happen in the playoffs. Like you got to be a better player than that. You got to be a better team than that. Like
Hmm.
like how can you score and not get back on defense to stop them from scoring? Like a
That doesn't make
layup
any
is not
sense.
supposed to lead to a fast break. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? A steal, a block. You know what I'm saying? A bad pass. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That leads to fast breaks. Not a bucket. You know what I mean? And they're gonna have to run. Okay, so you're gonna have to run, and maybe some of that is SGA. Lacking some confidence in some of his team. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Not being
Yeah.
prepared. Maybe they're getting overwhelmed. It's game one. It's the finals. You're at home. You have these expectations. You know what I mean? So you get these expectations of being the best team, being the number one seed and whatnot. So you would think that they would be able to, you know, respond well or come out the gate strong. You know what I'm saying? And they was lacking. You know what I'm saying? You know who else is
Yep.
big? Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin is big for Indiana. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So it's like you have even big men that could run away. I don't think there's anybody on an OKC team that could jump with Obi
How
Toppin.
no one would have thought that the second biggest scorer of game one would have been Obi Toppin. And then just
Yeah.
2 points behind Pascal Siakam, who had the biggest the amount of points.
hmm
Basically,
Because that's what
yeah,
I'm saying. They don't. They
yeah,
don't. There's no ego on that team, man. They're a complete team. Look at those numbers. Look at those numbers. It's just the best shot that time in and time out every single way down the court. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
No one
yeah,
gets if the best shot is 3 shots by fucking Siakam, 3 possessions in a row, then that's the 3 shots for Siakam, 3 possessions in a row. The fourth possession, you're not gonna all of a sudden not pass it to Siakam because he missed the last two. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Or feel a certain way. They're gonna be like, "Yo, Siakam, go ahead, man. If you open and that's the best shot, do it. If not, then fucking swing it around and find something else." You know what I mean? But it is what it is. It is what it
I
is.
I
So,
really do see them coming back strong. Like I can't see them like lacking and actually falling asleep on it. You know what I mean? Uh
this game.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
hmm
Like I can see
Yeah,
OKC
I feel
coming
it too.
super strong.
I feel it too. I could see Indiana taking a little bit off, like they did what they had to do. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah.
They're probably looking at it the Pacers in six. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They're looking at it, depending on how they play tonight. You know what I'm saying? Because a blowout is a blowout. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. But if a blowout doesn't happen, and now you got Indiana back in the game still, and it's close in the fourth quarter, and it's coming down to the last few possessions or who has the ball last. You know what I'm saying? Indiana's, even if they lose, they're gonna have a confidence about them that's like, wow, this is the best team, and look at what we're doing to them. Now they coming to Indiana. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
Like
they're thinking to take
what?
two.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame them, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like they still got that ego. They still got, like they I think they're gonna come back strong today.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're gonna have a big, I can't say blowout, but I'm gonna say blowout. I hope like if it's how I'm feeling, I feel like they're gonna have at least like a 25-point win tonight. You know, like one of those nights.
That's a bold prediction,
Like
Amstradamus.
statement comeback win, similar to
Yeah, like
our win. What was it? Game 4, game 5.
game
When we
three.
went at home.
Oh, when we went at home, game five.
5. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
we won by like 20 something points.
Mm-hmm.
Like or close to it. But like in general though, like the statement win, like coming
Mm-hmm.
back convincingly and like being like, and they were just like distraught, like they in the face, you could
Yeah.
tell.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what
Hmm.
happens. You know what I'm saying? I'm predicting a close game. Same as that. The same thing. You know what I'm saying? I think Indiana, they not only they playing with a lot of confidence, but they're also playing with a chip on the shoulder. I feel,
Hmm.
within themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like the doubters and the naysayers. You know how you get into that, type of thing. You know what I'm saying? They all counted us out. Not one of you broadcasters picked us before the series started. You know what I'm
Yeah, they
saying?
got like
You know what I'm saying? That
yeah,
type of thing. Like,
they're going through like a movie montage and shit. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like
It's fucking left side, strong side. You know what I'm saying? Man, fucking all types of shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, they going in fucking it's over. It's never over. It's never over, Rocky. You know what I mean? All
uh,
types of shit. You know?
oh, that's
So
funny.
yeah, I feel like
They're like
I
listening
think
to
the
Eye of the
Pacers.
Tiger in the locker room and shit.
Yeah, yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Fucking listen, watching Short Circuit and shit with Johnny Five and shit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
word. Yeah.
Or just mad random and shit. You know? Fucking
Oh,
Karate
yeah.
Kid. Fucking Danny LaRusso's gonna fight.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Some shit
Yeah,
like that. You know?
they
But
definitely
that
got
just
Ralph
that part.
Macchio to give him a pep talk.
Yeah, just that part is on repeat. You know what I'm saying? Like that, not the whole movie. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They just replaying the YouTube clip and shit, just wailing shit like that. But
Wax on. Wax off.
so you still so I'm thinking before we move on, you still OKC still got it, or you thinking Indiana wins?
Nah, I at this point I'm a fucking Pacers hater. So like I'm definitely going to OKC, even if it was
Mm,
like completely doubtable. Like I would
mm,
still say OKC, but in practicality, yes, I'm still going
OKC.
outside the hate. I'm still going to OKC.
Facts. I
Yeah,
bet. Well,
I think they'll figure it out.
I think the Pacers is gonna win it. I really do. I think the Pacers is gonna take it.
Bet.
Sucks to say. But
And
before we transition, huh?
in how many games?
Oh, six.
6? Pacers 6?
Mm-hmm.
Uh okay.
Yeah.
because you gave your number, I'm gonna say OKC and in 6.
Ah. All right. Well, only one of us would be right. Maybe.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
I said
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, because one of us, Thunder could still win, but it'd be in 7 or something. It could be in 5. They win the next 4. Who knows?
True,
You know
true,
what I mean?
true.
But yeah, game gonna start soon. But I want to keep it in the NBA because at the beginning of the week,
Hmm.
the move was made. The Knicks get rid of Tom Thibodeau. I wanna first ask you how you feel about it.
I mean, I can't. We called it. Did we
Yeah,
not call it?
yeah, uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So how do I feel about it? I'd say I told you so.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of those
Um,
types of situations. Like
mhm.
I
Yeah,
look at it like we lost that series because of him. Yes,
mm-hmm.
he's taken us far,
Yeah, he
as
took us
far
there.
like
You know what I'm
he
saying?
took us there. But
But I think,
dog,
yeah.
like we lost because of you. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing. Like when you're losing because of your coach, and his poor decisions. Like I said, you could have a
Yeah.
perfect
Or his stubbornness.
hand of
Is I don't think
cards
I
as
don't
a
even think
as a
it's
poker player, but if you're shitty at playing poker, you're still gonna lose.
yeah.
Like you
Yeah,
could
no,
have
I don't think
all the cards to win.
yeah, I don't think it was his lack of making the moves. I think it was his stubbornness and not wanting to do it. You know what I'm saying? Trying to, I think make it like he's right and he knows what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? But I think towards the end of the series, like I said, the hand was forced. I said it the last show or maybe the show before that it
Mm-hmm.
looked like his hand was forced to use Wright and Shamit when McBride and Brunson both got into foul trouble so early into the game. And then when you made the move, it just looked like you was, back against the wall. Let me, bring out all the stops, see if we could shake things up. You know what I'm saying? and
Right.
and uh and it looked like he was a genius. You know what I'm saying? Even in the beginning of the playoffs, you know what I'm saying? When we first started against Detroit and we first started against Boston and whatnot, and even some of the other games and series around the league, you know what I'm saying? When you seeing how we're playing and you seeing how, Josh Hart and Towns and Brunson is still playing the 40 plus minutes throughout the playoffs, but because it happened so often throughout the season, it kind of felt like a norm when other teams kind of looked at winded at times by playing these type of minutes when they didn't really do it. So again, it was like, oh, he looks like a genius and whatnot, like he was preparing the team for this type of thing. But at the same time, it's like your lack of willing to adapt, make adjustments, play the bench. You know what I'm saying? Because of
Right.
the way Achua played, the way Shamit played, even the way DeLon Wright played, especially defensively. You know what I'm saying? Shamit with
Mm-hmm.
some shooting, Precious with defense and rebounds and putbacks. You know what I'm saying? Shamit, I mean, Precious looks like somebody that could have been able to possibly, guard Siakam for all
Yeah.
we know. You know?
Dog. Like sometimes it's as simple as that. As stupid as
Hmm.
that sounds,
Hmm.
think about it. Like they had players on their team that were just lockdown Dean. Like how
Hmm.
is that non-fathomable
Yeah,
fathomable
like that
to
was
fucking
that was like a
Thibodeau
Nemhard. Yeah, that was like a
to have a
Nemhard on
lockdown
Jalen
defender
Brunson.
on the
Like
floor?
he was just following Brunson the whole time and everything like that. Like
Yeah,
even as the series went on, like you never took the ball out of Brunson's hands to bring it up. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like why not have Bridges bring up the ball? Kind of stop some of their full court. Or just give Brunson a break. You know what I'm saying, so that when he is at least getting the ball past half court, he's not winded because he's been running and dribbling OD just to get past half court. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But again, these are
yeah.
these are the lack of the adjustments. These are the lack of moves that needed to be made as the head coach. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't do it. You know, and I think where even though the team was put together to beat Boston and whatnot, like we beat
Hmm.
Boston. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And now the expectation shifted. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't supposed to. I don't think there's nobody that was in that front office, from Dolan down, that thought that Indiana Pacers was going to be the team that beat us. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I think everybody was okay with it being in Boston. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
As long as we didn't get swept. You know what I mean? Like if we would have lost to Boston in 7, game 7 in Boston, we lose by 5 points. You know what I'm saying? They would have been like, even if it's the second round, or the Eastern Conference Finals. It's like, uh, uh, we wasn't ready, or we made it, or we misjudged the move, or whatever. You know what I mean? But you actually beat them, and then that became like, oh, well, we should be in the finals then. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like I said, the expectations shifted to be something else. I feel like, and it just didn't come to fruition. They didn't cash in, and I think they was upset, and then you hear Dolan. He was probably the one that was probably most upset because of where they were and how long it's been since they got there. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then you hear that they called some players meetings. Some of their top players, which you could assume was probably, you know, Cat, Brunson, Bridges, OG, the people that Cat and Brunson are the two main. OG is our highest player. Bridges, we just traded 5 picks for. You know what I'm saying? And he was also the person that actually went publicly saying something about the minutes. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? And not necessarily. Well, I did bring this up last week as well. Not necessarily, that he couldn't play the minutes, but more like, we have other players on our team, that deserve some of these minutes, and he didn't understand why they wasn't getting no burn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, I think it's right now. I think it was a good move because it puts us in an empowering position. Like I don't know
Mhm,
if you know what I'm trying to say. It basically puts us back in the driver's seat, and it doesn't necessarily we're not dictated by a Tibbs system. You
mhm.
understand? Like
Yeah.
we're not going to be defined as a Tibbs team moving forward.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, and we could be something else. So
Mhm.
it get
With the talent that
also
we got.
since we're so fucking good, a lot of fucking people are gonna be knocking on our door.
Mhm.
It's not
Giannis
like these
included.
not
I think
yeah,
Giannis and Durant is
not
gonna
even
have some sort of
talk
interest in coming over here.
yeah, not even talking about players, dog. I'm talking about coaches. Players is one
Oh yeah,
thing.
no, yeah, coaches. I
Like,
mean, you hear some names that have been floating around is like Mike Malone, Jason Kidd, this guy from UConn, what's his name? Danny Hurley.
uh-huh.
Uh, there's another college coach, I think. You know what I mean? Oh, the guy that used to Jay Wright that used to coach Villanova. You know what
Uh-huh.
I mean? You got some other players. See, yeah, there goes Mike Malone and Jay Wright. You see what I'm saying?
So this is a good article from the Sporting News that I saw
Oh, and
earlier,
then
but
Johnny
basically
Bryant.
yeah, and this
Okay.
is like the first time in a while where like I could actually see all of these candidates being like actually potential.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've won it's been a while since we've been in a situation, but if you've been a Knicks fan long enough, you would know that we've gone through a lot of coaches before Thibodeau in like a short period of time.
Definitely.
And it seemed like
Mm-hmm.
as if like there would be a bunch of like candidates, and I don't even think the good candidates wanted to be here. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we
Yeah.
have a famous moment of basically Steve Kerr having both the Knicks and where he is now in Golden State, and he made the right decision. Like I
Facts.
don't blame him. Like he
Mm-hmm.
went and he coached that fucking team, and it was pretty much the conversation because at that time they were getting rid of
Mark Jackson.
what's his Mark Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
and then it became Mark Jackson and Steve Kerr were candidates for us,
Yeah.
and I think that we wanted Steve Kerr, and it just didn't. Like Steve Kerr went with Golden State because I honestly it probably was a way better option, you know.
Where?
But yeah, if we look at it, basically we have starting with Mike Malone. We've already talked about it. He's the one person on this list that has a chip.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah,
can
but
go down the
like
list.
Yeah, the thing with we could go down the list. The thing that I have a problem with Mike Malone is like he's kind of like Tibbs in terms of like his own system and how he runs things and subs and shit like that. Like you could see that that's what got him out of Denver. You know what I'm saying? Like giving Westbrook certain amount of minutes and not going the other way and playing other guys. You know what I'm saying? And the team
Hmm.
being fed up with it and whatnot. So I don't really think he's a good fit at all, to be honest. Regardless of that, he's won a chip. You know what I'm saying? When
Um,
you look at, go ahead.
I'm not really I'm not a huge fan of Taylor Jenkins.
Yeah, I don't
But
really know who he is. I don't know much about him.
oh, well, he basically was the head coach of the Grizzlies, but the dude is young. And
Hmm.
usually that coalesces well. I mean, it seems to be working well. Young coaches have been popping off lately, and actually doing really, really well. So he basically was 6 seasons as the head coach of the Grizzlies. It's crazy how you don't even know him.
Hmm.
But yeah, the dude was fired midseason. And yeah, I mean, he's ranked number 2 on this list. I don't see him necessarily being number 2.
Yeah, I don't think
I
so either.
yeah, like I think if also you're talking about history wise, like I would more like Jeff Van Gundy, honestly.
Hmm.
Like just in general as a
Yeah.
Knicks fan, I think all of us would like this, but
Oh
it's
yeah,
dependent
definitely.
on.
Especially since he stepped back into the coaching realm with being on the Clippers team and
Mhm.
they're as part of their assistant team. So I would love Van Gundy. I don't
He's
think there's not
healthy.
one Knicks. There's not yet. I don't think there's not one Knicks fan that would not be content with Van Gundy coming back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
When you think about those other two college coaches, when you see Jay Wright and Danny Hurley,
Dan
not
Hurley.
to
Yep.
take yeah, Dan Hurley, not to take anything away from their talent, because Dan Hurley, they just won a UConn, he's been doing this Jay Wright. He does have this familiarity with these Villanova players being Brunson, Hart, and Bridges. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
just that sometimes, we've seen in the past that not always does the college game, transition into the NBA game and the way they coach. You know what I'm saying? There's some that
Yeah.
have that talent and it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? And they might have just stayed at the coaching level, at the college level, because they chose to, like a Coach K, because we've seen him in the Olympics and what he could do as a
Dog.
coach. But
I really, really like the Nova Knicks. I like all that other shit, but I would not want also the coach.
yeah, I don't think
Like,
so neither. Yeah, it's too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, and besides, Villanova is like in fucking Philly, so it's like chill. And
yeah.
this guy Johnny Bryant, there is a lot of talk about him. You know what I'm saying? I think
Uh-huh.
he is a hot commodity when it comes to uh coaching vacancies that are around the league. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For the his some of his
Now
workouts that he's done with some of these
this guy
players
I don't know much about. Like apparently he was assistant coach with
on
the
the Jazz,
Cavaliers
and the Jazz too.
and the Jazz.
Hmm.
Not I mean, was he with the Cavs this past season?
Oh, I don't know. I know he was with the Jazz, I believe 2020 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and
He's
then
an
I think
associate
he
head
did that.
coach.
Yeah, like he's a big part of player development. He does a lot of the one-on-one shit, a lot of team building, a lot of leadership things, a lot of like just on and off the court skills. You know what I'm saying? And very, personable to the players. And there's no, all the players that he's ever worked with like him, have high praise about him. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what the Knicks are trying to, maybe change the culture of the team with a hire like Bryant from what Tibbs was. You know what I'm saying?
I I can see him I can see Leon making this move over the fact of ego.
Mm,
Just the fact that all these other people on this list probably have a way bigger ego than that dude.
mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
we're talking about I have
Mm-hmm.
chips here, I have chips there, blah blah blah. This
Mm-hmm.
dude is young,
Mm-hmm.
and that makes a lot
And
of
and
sense.
relatable. Yeah, it's relatable to the players. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at it. Yeah, I mean, even when you look at it in the NFL, you know what I'm saying? When you see some of these big teams that are there, in the
Uh-huh.
NFL, a lot of them are run by the young coaches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, you have your Andy Reid like a Kansas City, but you have the Rams coaches young. You know what I'm saying? And um, even the Giants coach is young. Dable is not old. You know what I'm saying? You have a bunch of younger coaches. That's talented. Mike Tomlin. He's not young now, but he's been young. When he first got hired.
Yeah.
The other guy that was on the Dolphins that was with the Jets, McDonald, I think his name was McDaniels.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? These are all young players. Vrabel is young, played in the NFL, They're all young guys, all young coaches, former players and whatnot. I'm in terms of me and what I would want, I'd be okay with the Johnny Bryant. I think I would be okay also with an old throwback like a Van Gundy or Mark Jackson, you know what I'm saying, that has a respect amongst the players and the league and whatnot. But I'm also down with a Jason Kidd as well. I think those
Mm.
four would be my top in terms of what I would be considered a good move. You know what I'm saying? Anyone outside of those four to me would be a big question mark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and those four right there between Van Gundy, Jackson, Bryant, and um, Jason Kidd, I think those four would be the best move for you if I'm the Knicks getting one of them as a new head coach. How do you feel about that?
I feel I feel good about that. The only
Like
thing
those
is
choices?
like it's also the Suns. The Suns want
Well, the
to.
Suns hired somebody. They hired somebody this week.
Who do they hire?
I don't know, but I seen it. I seen it briefly when I was on break at work on the TV that the Suns hired somebody. Because I thought Johnny Bryant was going to go there. I think that was one of the reasons why also the Knicks made the move quick fast so that Phoenix wouldn't go get him. But Phoenix hired somebody, right?
I don't know. That's a good
Or I thought
question.
you was yeah. Search real quick. I'm pretty sure new Suns head coach.
All right.
Let's see.
Oh, this guy looks weird.
They hired somebody though, right?
Yep. Uh the Phoenix Suns have made their head coach hire of Jordan Ott.
Yeah.
Ott.
Jordan. Yeah.
So he was a
Yeah, I never heard of
assistant
him either.
coach with the Lakers. Oh, he's a
Mm,
weird looking guy.
okay. Yeah. But I think Phoenix is looking to blow it up. You know what I'm saying? Looking for a new
Uh-huh.
approach and new looking things. I think ideally they would probably want to keep Booker out of all of them. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And
Yeah.
move what they can, get something back out of it, you know, and whether it's a package deal of young players and draft picks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But
I just hope it's not us. Like I really don't want KD.
yeah, me
That
neither. I'd rather get Giannis.
yeah, I'm out. Yeah, like that's one of those things
Like
that
if
I
we're gonna
want to
make a
stay
move and
far,
shit like
far,
that, like
far
I don't
away
want to.
from.
Yeah, I don't want a 37, 38-year-old Kevin Durant acting like he's gonna be the savior to give us the fucking chip, like if he's still the man and shit like that. Like I'm good
Bruh,
on it.
he's already shit on us. Like the
Yeah.
fact that he's already publicly shit on us. I
Hmm.
don't fucking forget. Like I'm never gonna forget that.
Hmm.
I'm never
Yeah.
gonna
Hell yeah.
forget that
Hmm. You don't
when
deserve
we
us, man.
when yeah, like dog, you went to Brooklyn, bro. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Like
It's like the hot chick in high school that didn't want to give us no love, but now that I'm a doctor and you washed up, you want to, be on my dick all of a
facts,
sudden. Yeah, nah,
facts.
we can't do that. We can't
Yeah,
do
we
that,
can't have that
KD.
relationship,
We
bro.
can't do that, man. I'm sorry. I'm a doctor now, man. You got 3 kids, bro. I'm good. The Knicks are the doctors right now, KD. You got about 3 kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You not
Yep.
looking the same, bro. It's not that tight. You know what I mean?
Nope.
And you got to go,
Nope.
boy. That's it, my G. Appreciate you, though. You know what I mean? But
Damn.
I think that's it for the NBA, right?
Yeah, yeah. You want to get into some baseball or?
Yeah, yeah,
All right, so let's
yeah,
get right
yeah.
into it. You want to start with the Yankees or you want to start with the Mets?
I think we need to start with the Mets, man.
All
Y'all
right,
on
cool. Let's
fire,
start with
bro.
the Mets.
Y'all on fire, yeah.
I shot the gun early. Got all the Yankee stuff together.
That's all
All
right.
right.
Well, you know what? I thought I put on the Yankees today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the past couple of shows, you know, in your crib,
The,
it's like, damn, it's too much Met shit over there. It's fuck. People gonna
yeah,
think I'm
yeah.
Met fans and shit.
You need a differential, bro. You need a
Yeah.
differential.
Uh huh. Yeah. So I made sure I wore my Yankee shit.
So we gotta build up your cave too. Like we need a little Yankee shrine behind you and shit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to hold my Jeter bobblehead or some shit. Just hold it
Get
right
the
here.
shit.
It's me and the captain. You already know.
Oh my god.
We here, son. Word up. But yeah, Yankees. Let me see if I could I don't think I'll be able to search anything right now.
No, you're good. You're good. The Mets just went. Uh, we ended up sweeping the Colorado Rockies in this series. We won today,
Mm,
13-5. The final
spanking.
game of the series.
Put up mad numbers
Um,
this in this series too. Put up
facts,
mad numbers.
facts.
Yeah, I had to score like almost 50 runs in these 3 games.
Before that, we had a series with Dodgers. We ended up splitting that series 2-2, and then the series before that ended up having another series sweep against the Colorado Rockies,
Mm-hmm.
and really just padding. Thank you, Colorado. Thank you,
Yeah.
like, for helping
Mm-hmm.
us pad this little lead that we got. Right
Mm.
now we are sitting on a 4.5 game lead. I thought that it was a 3.5 game lead, but it's a 4.5 game lead over the Phillies, and
It's
11
gonna
and a
be
half
big, man.
game lead over the Nationals.
Yeah, but Phillies is going to be your number one to worry about. Obviously, we know what Atlanta is capable of doing and what they've done throughout their however many past years that they're just a second half team, and we know that. So we'll worry. You could worry about them later, depending. You know what I'm saying? But the Phillies right now, I feel, is going to be the team that you're going to battle for that uh, division crown.
Yeah, we're currently sitting at a point 636 winning percentage. And the Cubs are right behind us, not far behind at point 615 winning percentage. How do
Mhm.
you feel about the Cubs this season?
I think I think it's overdue for them. You know what I'm saying? I think for the past couple of years they've just been on the cusp and moves here, moves there. Some players, like getting rid of a Chris Bryant and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I think some of the
Hmm.
moves, finally started to pay off for them, and they finally were able to put it all together. Same thing with Detroit. That's one thing about baseball. You know what I'm saying? Like the the trusting of the process is real. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like you could be the Houston Astros and win and lose like 100 games like 2-3 years in a row, and then you get all these draft picks and it becomes Correa and Altuve and all of these other players, and then you start competing, and then all of a sudden it turns into a chip. You know what I'm
word.
saying? Like we see it all the time. Like we've seen Tampa Bay do it. We've seen Oakland do it. We've seen Mm, just multiple teams. Now the Cubs doing it. We've seen Milwaukee do it. Aside from your perennial teams, like your Yankees, like uh, uh, um, your Dodgers now.
Yeah.
Even we've seen it now with Detroit. You know what I'm saying? In terms
Hmm.
of Cleveland and Minnesota really being the two teams that was fighting for it, and Detroit being at the bottom, kind of like a White Sox. And now
Yeah.
Detroit is getting it together. We've seen it
Yeah.
last 2 years with Baltimore. Like teams start to do it. You know what I'm saying? But they get a small window of it because when you look like at a team like maybe like a Toronto, you know what I'm saying? They had their window of these young players like Bo Bichette and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And they hope that they could put something together to make them look like a winning team in hopes that these players would want to resign there and stay there and keep the fans there and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Because Vlad Guerrero Jr. is going to be due a big contract. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's going
Yeah,
to be
absolutely.
due, not Soto money, maybe not Judge money, but it's not going to be that far off. You know what I'm saying? In
Word.
terms of what he could do on the field and especially hitting and whatnot. And even the leadership that he brings. He's a vocal guy. You know what I'm saying? He's passionate about the game. Like these types of things is what happens within baseball, and that's the beauty of it because sometimes it's clear who's going to be a nice team going into a season, and sometimes it's not, and you get these shockers like we're getting with Detroit and Chicago this year.
Hmm.
Word up. Uh, and in terms of the Yankees, man, I think we play tonight, Boston. That game is probably going on right now. We looking to take the series. It's 1-1. Boston is our nemesis. We fumbled the bag against the Dodgers. We had some rough series, especially going out west, even losing to a Colorado team. You know what I'm saying? After you see what you
Yeah.
guys just did to them, I mean, they only have 9 wins on the year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but one of those 9 is the Yankees, like how you said last week. So that's a problem. So we
Yeah.
did go through a little bump, but one thing about the Boston New York rivalry, is like you're always gonna get up for it. You know what I'm saying? It's always gonna put that pep in you. It's always gonna, get you, motivated to want to play. You know what I mean? And I think that's what we're gonna see this series and hopefully tonight. And hopefully, the Yankees could at least take the series. We haven't uh we haven't lost a series. We haven't lost too many
Fingers
series
crossed
this
for
year.
y'all.
Yeah, thanks a lot, bro. Appreciate you.
I'm pretty sure
Appreciate
y'all be
you.
all right.
Yeah, well, we need to be. We need to be. We're the Yankees. You know what I mean? The winningest team in all sports history in America.
It's unreasonable if
You know,
not.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But it's a long season and we're getting ready to the deadline and Max Fried has been real good for us, man, and Heel is gonna be coming back soon and Rodon is pitching tonight. He's had a good season so far for us. It's kinda like, a little, sad. Oh, 2-0 Yankees already. Top of the fifth. So it's a little
You like
sad
that?
that yeah, fire. So you should probably try to put the basketball one.
Let me
OKC
see
and
that.
Indiana playing on right now. And
I got you. Keep going.
no, yeah, I lost my train of thought for a second. Oh, but oh yeah, look at that fire, fire. Oh yeah, we testing things out here. The Joan Hour, new look. You know what I'm saying? Still the same vibes. Know what I mean? But
Word, bro.
yeah, yeah. Oh, like I was saying, where Gil, he's coming back, but it's kind of like sad that Cole, got the Tommy John in the preseason. You know what I'm saying? Because with Cole in this pitching rotation, like we'd be dominating. We would
Yeah.
be dominating. You know what I'm saying? Look at how we are right now without him. You know what I'm saying? With him and Freed back to back. You know what I'm saying? Gil rolled on and whoever at 5. There's a couple of options between Schmidt and others and whatnot. Like dog, we'd be we'd probably definitely have the best rotation in baseball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Along with the best hitter in baseball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's for us the question mark is with our winning attitude, you know what I'm saying? Like, uh uh the playoffs is basically automatic this year. I can't really foresee a way that we don't make the playoffs and whatnot. But, you know, the real question mark is gonna be in the playoffs and who steps up, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
or
at
who
this
shows
at
up.
this point, I
Mhm.
think you guys are like a assured lock on that.
Yeah,
At
yeah,
least
no,
if you're
yeah, we're
looking at the
definitely,
standings.
yeah. Looking at the standings, looking at how it is, look at how we're playing and whatnot, barring any injuries, knock on wood. I don't want no
Yeah,
injuries on either side for the Mets or the Yankees because you guys are playing real good right now. You know what I'm saying? And it's long overdue, man. Like you see how it is for when the Knicks and how the city was, or even just how the country was. There was a buzz over the country with the Knicks playing. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
been real quiet. They had only 8 million people watch game one. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like lowest, like almost in history for finals game one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like it's
Yeah.
not the same. But the Yankees and the Mets being two teams doing their thing in respectively, it brings a buzz, because there's so many people that are from New York that just move all over the country and they live all over the place. You know what I'm saying? But they bring their fandom with them. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you get that buzz all over the place. You know,
Yeah.
you could be in Texas, you could be in Nebraska, you could be in California, Montana, and you know what I'm saying? And you're gonna find a New Yorker or whatever,
Hmm.
and they're gonna be a Yankees fan or a Mets fan for whatever reason. But yo, it's lit, bro. It's lit. It's baseball season. It's getting hot, man. It's been hot in fucking New York. Oh, shout out to the Puerto Ricans, bro. Boricua, shout out to
Yeah.
y'all,
Shout
man.
out to the Boricuas,
Shout out to
bro.
the Puerto Ricans. You know what I'm saying? It's Puerto Rican Day Parade today in New York. You know what I'm saying? This weekend
All
is
our
lit.
brethren.
Yeah, I remember when I was a single nigga, I used to be Puerto Rican for the weekend. You know what I'm saying? But now, um, you know, um,
My brother
I'm
used to tell everyone he
happily,
was Puerto Rican. I thought that shit was
yeah, hell
hilarious.
yeah, hell yeah. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Especially this weekend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It don't matter.
No, it was like full time. My brother, my brother would straight up
Yeah,
tell people he was Puerto Rican. I'm like, no, motherfucker,
yeah.
you're not.
Nigga, you're Spaniard.
Yeah,
you
word.
you
Right
one of the
now,
original
OKC has the
ancestors.
lead 12-10.
12-10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking like a timeout.
Yeah,
Looking like a
Pacers ended
timeout right
up,
now.
putting in a little coming with a little dagger 3. Um,
Yeah,
but
they got
yeah,
shooters, bro. They got shooters, man. They got shooters. As long as you got shooters, I mean, you could kind of see that with how it's been these past couple of winners. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Between the teams that's been around LeBron because he's always wanted shooters around him. To the Splash Brothers at Golden State, they're being shooters. Even
yeah,
Kyrie and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? The shots, man, hitting the big shots is what's gonna separate you. You know what I'm saying? The little things that you're not gonna see in the thing, like I always say, the three biggest statistics in the game that determines a winner is rebounds, free throws, and turnovers. You know what I'm saying? And points off turnovers with that,
yeah,
with that turnover category, like that becomes big. You know what I'm saying? But rebounds and free throws, that determines things. Offensive rebounds is what extends your possessions, and defensive rebounds is what cuts theirs short. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
word.
and controlling those with the ebbs and flows of the game, usually determines the winner. Not always, but are big
Usually.
indicators. But yeah, but not this playoffs with this Indiana team, bro. They are they're different. They are different, man. Word up.
Yeah, man.
So we got a vinyl or are we done for the day?
I think think considering the new platform, new format,
Yeah.
we're gonna skip on
I'll
that
just
this
show
week,
one.
but
I'll
we'll
show
pick
one.
it
Look,
back
here.
up.
Here's Dr. Dre, everybody. The Chronic.
All right, since you did that, hold on.
Ant going into the archives. He's like, I'm digging in the crates. DITC.
Yeah, the only Dre shit I have is actually Dre Day. I have Dre Day single, and then I also have Ain't Nothing But a G
Fire.
Thing. This is like just a DJ
Single.
single. But yeah,
Fire.
like I actually
Yeah,
don't
well,
have Chronic, and I don't have at least on vinyl.
yeah. Well, I got it right here. Chronic. You already know Dre. When you look at it, this is what oh, it says 2023, but I think this is like 92.
Oh,
92,
release?
93 that this came out,
Yeah,
yeah. Somewhere around that time. You know what I mean? We got the classic Nothing But a G Thing. One of the biggest, greatest hip hop songs ever. We also got obviously the Dre Day. You heard it, yeah. Look at that vinyl fire. That's the Easy E disc. You know what I'm saying? Once they parted ways. Um, some of my favorites it would be Nigga with a Gun, Bitches Ain't Shit, uh, Let Me Ride.
Gotta love it.
And of course D's nuts. D's nuts. Gotta love the West Coast. You know what I mean?
Can't forget D's nuts.
D's nuts, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, this was probably, this is Dre's introduction album. What I feel is um this is where we got to see the real skill of Dr. Dre, and when you hear some of these beats that he sampled from throughout this album, you could hear that, that classic at the barbecue at home feel, you know what I'm saying, with some of the samples that he used, you know what I'm saying, that was definitely big for the culture, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, word. Yeah,
Hmm.
no, this one has a track that's unavailable on the LP. Puffing
Mm.
on blunts and drinking Tanqueray.
Oh
And
yeah, that's
then
different, I didn't hear that.
also has 187 from the
Oh, deep cover.
Deep Cover soundtrack too.
Word, that's fire. That's fire. Oh yeah. Vinyls, everybody. Get yours in. Get yours in. Chronic. And for me, well, I also must say that the intro to this album might be one of the most firest intro beats ever to a hip hop album. You know what I'm
Word.
saying? That and also like the Dynasty. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Rock La Familia, the Dynasty album. That intro beat, everybody, if you remember that time, you
Which
know what I'm saying? That
amazing
was a
album.
big. Yeah. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Definitely a good album.
People that's
So
very
that
very
has to be a
underrated
top. I think
album.
I'm gonna have to do that. I think I'm gonna have to do that top five intro songs and beats to hip hop albums. That might have to be next week. I gotta think of that.
This is my copy of Dynasty.
Oh, there we go. There we
But
go.
yeah,
I see that, Jay-Z. I
this is
see that, the Dynasty.
the jail release.
Oh word. The bootleg. Yo, watch out, man.
No,
He might
it's
see
an
the stream.
official. It's an
Oh, it's real?
official
Oh, I was about to
release.
say.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
I
yeah.
was about to say
They
he
put
might
they're just like they're you know you already know like in
mhm,
jail like everyone has to listen to their shit on like or at least used to have to listen to their shit on tape,
mhm.
and none of their shit was allowed to have like actual labels on it, like everything needed to be clear. So like
Oh,
there's like
okay.
all this like overstock of like just rap music because that's usually what fucking what people are buying on in jail. But
Yeah.
yeah, fucking there's a lot you can find a lot of those tapes on eBay and shit, bro. Like mad cheap. Like people are just like, yo, I have like 10 of these, you know.
Word. Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
All right, bro. All right, well, another one wrapped up in the books. Fire.
Yes,
Jones
sir.
Hour, baby. It's
Yes,
lit. New.
sir. Oh, oh, oh. Did we lose Jones? Did we lose Jones? We'll be back next week, ladies and gentlemen. I think we lost Jones. Um, I think we're gonna get better and better at this. We're gonna start using this as almost like a post game or pre game coverage platform here on Playback. But we're transitioning more, I believe, into a live stream format where we are able to show more, share more, have more people on. Just a easier accessibility for the people that we do the show with, our former co-hosts, people that we usually work with on a regular. It's easier for everyone to do something at night from their phone or from their laptop over having to meet up during the day, and setting appointments and yada yada yada. We're all dads now. So I believe moving forward, there's going to be a lot more of this. We're not getting rid of our regular show platform. We're still going to have our interviews. We're still going to do what we normally do. We'll still have our call-in shows. But yeah, moving forward, live streaming is probably going to be the way that we're going to be going. Also gives us the opportunity to do the show more. When we have the strict schedule of only doing it one day out of the week and doing it during the day, we eliminate, the availability of a lot of people and this, that, and a third. Also our viewership as well. But yeah, we hope that you guys dig the new vibes, dig the new feels. Outside of that, we're out.